In this episode, we're going to be untangling a little bit of a nastiness that we have here in these specific types. We do have a couple of warnings, which is these types are very complicated, and Clippy wants us to refactor them to something a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to reason about. Now we have two of them here. We have this one right here, which is this hash map that has the type ID as the key, and then a vec with an option, an RC ref cell dyn any. This is pretty complex and a little bit gnarly. Now, the other one we have is this query here. If we look inside of here, it's a tuple that's got a vec with u sizes, but then we also have like the vector of RC ref cell dyn any. So looking at this, we actually we have a few different ways that we might be able to handle this. I'm noticing that we have the RC ref cell dyn any is consistent in two different areas, but then just like things are a little bit different. So let's start over here and we're going to extract out this RC ref cell dyn any to begin with. So to create a custom type that's not, a struct or an enum or something like that, what we can do is use the pub type. So I want this to be public so that other areas can access this and sort of like see what this type is. But okay, type here. We're gonna call this a component singular, and you're gonna be just this, the RC ref cell dyn any. So RC ref cell dyn any. So now it's just yelling at me, hey, it's never used. And we also see this is a type alias. So it's kind of like a use statement where I'm like pulling things out into its own name, but instead of like actually having something associated with it, this is just a type we can use. Let's go ahead and replace this here. So this is 1, 2 openings, 1, 2 closings, and this is going to be the component here. Okay, so that makes that happy there. Let's come back into query and let's use that here too. So we're going to be component, and then we're going to pull that in with a use statement for, where did that pull in? Oh, that did not pull in. That's why. Import component from super component. Okay, awesome. So we're not getting that error anymore, but we can probably make this a little bit nicer for ourselves still. Also notice we don't need this RC and ref cell anymore. We can get rid of that because it's now superseded by this component that we have here. Now, this is just all the components. So let's go ahead and create just a type for this. So pub type components equals, and then that's just going to be all of this, which means you can now be replaced with components. And then in query, we can do pretty much the same thing here. Now it can't be obviously that components, but what we can do is take a look at what we're expecting to get out of this, which is this. It's a little bit weird. Let's do like this is the indexes. We can maybe have this just be like a query. I kind of like creating a custom type, sort of like name this as indexes here, and then this is like the actual all the components that we're looking for, query components. So I'm going to create types here. So pub type, this is going to be the query indexes, and if we remember, that's going to be a vector of usize, and then a pub type. I'm going to name this query, and then if we look down here, this is really our vec of components. So query components equals a vec of a vec of that component. And then we're going to replace these sort of all together is going to be a tuple of, oh, don't do that. We're going to have our query indexes and our query components. Hopefully what this means is if anybody's looking through the source code and needs to sort of see what this is, it's very easy to like just sort of see that right here. And if anybody needs to in their own test, in their own project, have this type available for us, they could extract that out with a use statement because we have this being public. So because of that, we no longer have any warnings from Clippy telling us that our types are too complicated, and we're ready to move on to the next thing, which is deploying to Grace.io. I'll see you in that video. Bye.